The Kapow Radio Show Network produces high-quality podcasts that you definitely want to hear. So stick around and get prepared to stimulate your spirit.
Lord, now can't you see? Trouble and evil are surrounding me. Death and pain for the wicked world's fate, but the righteous and just shall live by the faith.
Hello, Miss Kapow. Today's the 5th.
The 5th of what?
5th of January.
No, it's February 2016.
5th of February. I don't know, man. You know why
You're still in January.
No, you know why? You know why I was talking like an idiot? No. You want to know why I was talking like an idiot?
I want to know.
Because the title of this Freedom Friday Hour on February 5th, 2016, it's called Dopey Muttonheads.
Dopey Muttonheads.
Yeah, it's dedicated to all the dopey muttonheads that have been just posting stupid things on my Facebook page.
Yep.
And I know they're listening to the show because they're posting stupid things about the show. They are. And what they are is they're dopey muttonheads. They're unintelligent. They're stupid. They're spiritually dead. They're probably ugly.
They're DMs.
They're DMs. They're demon-possessed.
Ooh, sound like demons.
I know, DM, dopey muttonheads. But really, seriously, those, and I'm talking to those people out there who are not only intelligent, but who believe in the truth of the gospel of Jesus Christ. You have some morals and you have some common sense and stuff. I'm talking to you folks. Do you realize, I mean, have you noticed an increase of like attacks, social media attacks, like on your Facebook page and whatever social media, stupid people, you'll post something or a scripture or say something, then somebody says something stupid. They're all out there. They're like shills. I think a lot of it, I get some of these comments that absolutely don't make any sense at all. And it's almost like, and I don't want to sound like a tinfoil hat thing, but it's almost like they're computer generated.
No, they probably are.
Yeah, because the grammar doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I know there's a lot of dumb idiots out there, but I mean, you got to know how to at least
it's really
write.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like what you get on your phone. You know, people call you and you can get like a little text of of the recording of what they said.
Yeah, transcript.
Yeah, and it usually is kind of funny.
Messed up. Even if they talk real articulate, it messes up.
Yeah, you're probably right though.
Yeah, like I got one today, and the message referred to a gal named Peggy, but the phone translated it. I'm not lying, folks. Poop. Yeah, poop. So you know what I mean. But
Peggy poop.
To get back to that, it's like I get these messages and stuff, and it sounds like they're generated by a computer. They really do. I think it's some kind of algorithms that Facebook has and the devils have and things like that. Though some of these are real people, but they're just like a bunch of dopey muttonheads, man. And I spend, I don't spend a long time, but I read their stuff, and I have a strong profanity filter on the page. Fifth Hook Media page. I'm talking about Fifth Hook Media Facebook page. Have a strong profanity filter on there. So if they say something, and most of them do, they cuss, it just automatically hides it from everybody else.
Right.
But I see it. And then I either have to block or ban or report these people if they get too bad. But they just come out in droves. And I think it's really good news. It really is, because that means we're stirring up the hornet's nest.
Yep, and that's always a good thing.
Mm-hmm. And everybody that's like on the page or, commenting on the page and liking things and posting truth and stuff on there, you're all part of just stirring the hornet's nest.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep.
You're
agitating.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's really good news. I think it's that means you're doing something. You're actually making a difference, because these muttonheads are actually taking the time to type to you.
Yeah.
To get, you know what I mean?
Because you've annoyed them so much that they feel like they need to blast you.
So they're actually taking the time to actually type. And I'm thinking, wow, I really got under your skin on that one. Yeah.
Good.
So it's dedicated to all the dopey muttonheads out there. Listen, we got a good show. We're talking about a lot of stuff. And we're going to talk about the first Muttonhead we're going to talk about is this transvestite dolt who sued a bank because he sounded like the man that he was, and the poor teller wouldn't release his bank information to him because he had a female name on his account because he thinks he's a female.
Right.
And he's just a dopey muttonhead transvestite.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're really called. They're not called transsexuals. They're transvestites. Portlandia. There was a show on Netflix, I don't know if it's still on there, that my niece turned me on to called Portlandia. And it was so stupid, and it made fun of Portland, Oregon. It made fun of the people in Portland, Oregon, because they're very quirky and strange over there, you know.
Yep.
And it was really a funny show. But they're the atheist capital of the USA. I'll explain that later because I don't know if I necessarily agree with that or with the study, but it's an interesting study. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about some teenager who committed suicide at open mic night in Oregon. Also, how the Phoenix City Council is kind of in trouble with the Satanist wanting to give prayers.
Yep.
And then, probably one of my favorite stories, Homo Optimus.
Say that a couple of times.
Homo Optimus. Homo Optimus. He's coming. He's coming, say the dopey muttonheads. And then in Britain, the scientists have been given permission to mess around with the DNA of embryos. They've been given
they have
permission
been
now.
given the green light.
And then here in America, an ethics committee made out of scientists were asked by the FDA to convene to see if 3-parent embryos would be ethical. And they said, yeah.
Oh,
and so
of course
the FDA
they did.
Here in America has praised their research. So you can see where this is going. And then a related story, we're going to talk about some kid who got kicked out of his school because of his DNA.
I know. That's ridiculous.
It's amazing. Muttonheads.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Muttonheads. And then this story, Heather sent this to us. It was amazing. It was... it's about buying demons on eBay.
It's creepy.
It's
really creepy.
It is amazing. All right, so let's give a scripture reading, and then we'll get on to it.
All righty. The scripture for today is in Isaiah 59, 1 through 8. And it says, "Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened, and it cannot save, neither is ear heavy that it cannot hear. But your iniquities have separated between you and your God, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear. For your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity. Your lips have spoken lies, your tongue hath muttered perverseness. None calls for justice, nor any pleads for truth. They trust in vanity and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. They hatch cockatrice eggs and weave spider's web. He that eats of their eggs dies, and that which is crushed breaks out into a viper. Their webs shall not become garments, neither shall they cover themselves with their works. Their works are works of iniquity, and the act of violence is in their hands. Their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity, wasting and destruction are in their path. The way of peace they know not, and there is no judgment in their goings. They have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth there shall not know peace."
It's not good news for dopey muttonheads.
Nope.
All right?
Nope.
Some of this stuff is so bad that these dopey muttonheads are saying, it's just, I wouldn't even repeat it because it's so...
No, it's nasty.
Yeah, so nasty. But that's not good news, what you just read. But, hey, we all have choices. All right. This first story, this guy's a dolt. What a buffoon.
Oh, yes.
This story was on... it was another website that it was on. I think it was some Georgia news or something. And they took it down. So you can find it now. This is Fox 13, and then I think you found it on the Daily Mail.
Yes, I did.
But the original website, they took it down.
They took it down.
We're a bunch of babies. please. I tell you what, this whole society, it really, the Muttonheads, they deserve everything that's coming. It's really fun from my seats.
Yep.
The title is transgender woman. There's no such thing as a transgender woman. This guy's a transvestite. He's a drag queen. He's a man dressing like a woman. He doesn't even look like a woman. He just looks like a weird dude with long hair.
Yeah.
They're transvestites. He files a suit against People's Bank for allegedly denying his service. Mm-hmm. Okay? This is so ridiculous. This is in Seattle. And all this makes sense when we start talking about Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon, Bend, Oregon. When we talk about these things, it's going to make sense when we get to the atheist capital of the USA.
Amen.
And all this stuff's going to start making sense. San Francisco. So this is from Seattle. It's a transvestite dude. He filed a civil lawsuit against his bank saying that they denied him service over the phone because he sounded like a man. Oh. He calls himself Lizzie Duff. And he said he felt violated and attacked and still does. Mm-hmm. Duff said he called People's Bank 3 times trying to access his balance. He answered all the security questions, but they still wouldn't release his information. Lizzie said a teller said his voice didn't match the bank's files, which says he is a female.
So basically the bank was trying to protect
yes.
the person that owned that account.
They were actually doing their job, and they did a good job. And I hope this teller doesn't get fired or something for that. Mm-hmm. I mean, how is this person supposed to know that this guy's a freak and he's a muttonhead? Mm-hmm. Go figure. She didn't have a crystal ball there going, hey, look at this freak dressed like a woman.
Yeah, she wasn't being malicious.
Why doesn't he take voice feminization classes?
Exactly. Why?
He first filed a complaint with the Seattle Office of Civil Rights, but said the bank refused to make accommodations. So he felt like it was a battle that he had to pick. I don't know what kind of accommodations the bank's supposed to make. I mean, on the account, there's a female name. He sounds like a dude.
Yeah. I know.
They're just protecting the account holder.
Exactly.
This idiot goes on and says, sometimes people will call me sir. And I'll say, no, I'm not sir. And usually people will apologize and get it.
It's like, have you seen yourself in the mirror?
Yeah.
You look like a sir.
Yeah, he looks like a dude with long gray hair.
Yeah, he looks like an old man.
Just like an old man with long hair that hasn't bathed in a couple of weeks. And then he'll say, I'm a transgender woman. And they are fine with it and very friendly. But when it goes beyond that, it becomes hostile. And I can say it. Adversarial.
Wow. So
this guy's got a big chip on his shoulder because he's a dude dressed like a woman. And no one wants to play in the sandbox. So what do you do with that? So anyway, a spokeshole for the People's Bank said that the bank was working with the Office of Civil Rights to resolve this dude's claim when the guy filed a lawsuit. The bank said, quote, we are disappointed by this turn of events. We are confident this issue would have been resolved favorably. I don't know what that means. It sounds like they're kowtowing.
Of course.
And Duff and his attorney agree. So the attorney says, Lizzie felt as though she, actually it's a he, had no other choice but to pursue a complaint in the King County Superior Court. So anyway, that's the world of dopey muttonheads. Mm-hmm. So they can have it. Have fun.
It certainly can.
Yeah, have fun. This is what we created, legalizing homosexuality, going down this path, doing all this stuff. And now it's conflicting with the Constitution and with civil rights. Mm-hmm. There's a big conflict now with First Amendment. They have a big major problem. They have that problem with us because we have a First Amendment, a right to do Freedom Friday and say the things that we do. So there's a big problem with all of this, and it's just getting more and more confused and convoluted. And, Okay. This is the atheist capital of America, says the article. It's from Market Watch. I don't really agree with it. And here's why. I'm not defending Portlandia. I'm just saying that the study that was done was for people who have a non-religious affiliation.
Mm-hmm.
And just because you have a non-religious affiliation doesn't mean you're an atheist.
That's right.
Maybe you just don't like religion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like religion. I hate organized religion. If it's a business model, if it's organized religion, I can't stand it. But I'm far from being an atheist.
That's right.
So I would have fallen into one of these groups here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I don't necessarily agree with the term atheist. The article should be non-religious affiliation. That's exactly what it was.
Well, maybe they want to spell all that.
Well, yeah. Maybe they're Muttonheads. Seattle, San Francisco, and Portland have the lowest rate of religious affiliation. That's the bottom line.
Yep.
The lowest rate. Right up next to them, by the way, in the cities is Las Vegas, Nevada, an hour away from us.
Yep.
Go figure.
Figure City. Hello.
Since City doesn't have religious affiliations?
No.
Oh, you're kidding me. And also Denver, Colorado.
No, I can see that.
Yeah, you're smoking a lot of dope over there, folks. You know. Let's see. So
isn't Cuckoo, California one of them too?
With San Francisco.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
San Francisco, California.
So they kind of lump them all together.
Yeah, not states, but major cities. Portland, Oregon, San Francisco, California, and Seattle, Washington are tied on a 2015 list of metropolitan areas with the most religiously unaffiliated residents. 37%. That's pretty high.
That is very high.
That's according to a nonpartisan and nonprofit Public Religion Research Institute's American Values Atlas. That's their name.
Mouthful.
I know. A Muttonhead had to think that up. A survey of 50,000 people. Seattle and San Francisco have been, or have more religiously unaffiliated people than the previous year, which was 33%. So they went up a percentage point. While Portland has less religiously unaffiliated residents than 2014, they had 42% last year.
Mm-hmm.
Las Vegas and Denver were next on the list with 29%.
I see.
You see? Now, on the other end of the spectrum, Charlotte, North Carolina was the metropolitan area with the fewest people without any religious affiliation. So more people bought into religion there.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't say Christianity. It could have been Muslim. It could have been...
But they believe in some deity or
some kind of religion. That was 16% in 2015 versus 17% the previous year.
Mm-hmm.
Then that was followed by Dallas, Texas, and Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Then Houston and Kansas City.
Wow.
Pretty good, huh? I think that's kind of different. Those differences are kind of interesting. It said some important caveats. The survey didn't specify that a certain percentage of those metro areas were atheists. That's what I said. See?
Mm-hmm.
While many people who don't believe in God may not attend religious services, there are, of course, faith traditions such as Unitarian or Universalism that welcome and include humanists and atheists and everybody else, right?
That's right.
Many people who might not believe in God may just as likely go to a church for spiritual reasons too, or merely, because they like it or to get chicks or whatever they do there, right?
Right. Free food.
Free food, coffee, donuts.
Entertainment.
Good music. Portland is quirky and different, they say, and very attractive to people who may not feel comfortable in other social environments, particularly with a stigma against those who are atheists. Yep. They say 93% of people said they would vote for a Catholic for president, and only 6% say they would not. 58% said they would vote for an atheist, while 40% said they would not. So I don't know. But anyway, they're saying that Portlandia is atheist capital of America.
Interesting.
Just suffice it to say they're quirky and probably very secular and worldly. right? In general.
Right.
In general.
Right.
In general. We have a neighbor that we just met recently, and they're from, is it Portland they're from? They're from Oregon.
I believe they are. Yeah.
But his views are like very conservative.
Very.
He invited me out to the desert to go shoot guns, and he's all he's very conservative in his viewpoint. And I think it was him that said that they tried Portland or lived in Portland for a while, and they just didn't feel comfortable there.
Yeah.
It just was kind of weird. Anyway, here's another Oregon news. This is from Bend, Oregon. This is a teenager. This is some crazy stuff.
I know.
This is a teenager who stabs himself on stage at an open mic night at a coffee shop. He's only 19 years old. He was going to be 20 like the next week.
Wow.
He shocked a crowd at a coffee shop. He stabbed himself to death. Can you imagine?
No.
I mean, you get that first stab in, you got to pull it out, do it again. I mean, before you actually expire, that's some hairy stuff right there.
Remember we did a story a while back about someone that did that? They stabbed themselves, and the people thought it was part of the
Yes.
it was like a poem night or something like that, how you
Yes.
express yourself.
Yes.
And this person committed suicide by stabbing himself.
That's
or herself.
exactly what this kid did.
And then the audience thought it was part of his expression, his art.
Yeah, that was part of the show. I mean, because you're not used to seeing something like that. That wouldn't be...
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. Well, this kid's name was Kip Rusty Walker. He was 19 at the time. He took the stage at Strictly Organic Coffee in the town of Bend, Oregon on Thursday to perform a song he called Sorry for the Mess.
That's sad.
Yeah. When he finished playing, he pulled out a knife, a double-edged 6-inch blade. That's not that big. You need at least 4 inches to get a vital organ. So it's not that big of a knife. It did the job. He stabbed himself multiple times in the chest in front of a confused crowd of roughly 15 people. This is a quote from a witness. It was really unclear at first what was even happening because, it's an open mic and it's performance. People at first thought it was some sort of theater. It's exactly what you said. Once the crowd saw the blood and figured out what was happening, then the kid was rushed to the hospital and he died of his wounds.
Can you imagine being a witness to that?
Yes.
What that would do to your
psyche.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Lord.
bizarre to see. That would be bizarre to see. And go, what in the world did I just... And why he did that in public and felt the need to do that, who knows? A friend of his said that Walker's death did not come as much of a surprise because he had contemplated suicide before. He even planned to kill himself in a public place. He said, I've been preparing for it for a while. I'm sad about it, but I think I'm in shock. It's like a whirlwind of emotions. It was almost like he wanted to prove a point, like there's no point in being scared to death because it's going to happen to us anyway. That's crazy. That's what his friend said. He said that Walker had tried to take his own life on March 20th, and his friend helped him at that point. He said he warned Walker that killing himself would have lasting implications. And what he meant by that is the people who saw it in public. But I think that's very a prophetic statement, lasting implications. Because once it's over here, it's eternity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can't go back. You can't do a do-over.
It's that living darkness. That living darkness until you hear those other voices and you realize you're not alone in the torment, in this utter blackness. Oh my Lord. So apparently the traumatic incident is the first of its kind in the area. And I guess they're having some counseling for the witnesses and things like that. As they should. That's pretty traumatic.
Oh, dear Lord.
So, this is the world we're building. Now, this is interesting. I talked about how a lot of the stuff, this transvestite, can now sue because of discrimination and things like that. So we've opened ourselves up to all kinds of issues.
Yeah,
and we've also opened up ourselves to issues with this prayer in public in community meetings like city council and things like that. And the Satanists are now really stepping it up.
They're very, very aggressive now.
Yeah, and I don't mean the closet Satanists or the underground. I mean the Church of Satan, the Temple of Satan.
Yeah.
By the way, who doesn't actually believe in a deity. They're more atheist. They don't actually believe in Satan as a deity. They don't worship Satan, but they call themselves the Church of Satan.
Right.
So, Muttonhead. Really?
Yeah.
If you see
if you really think about it.
If you see somebody just stuck on stupid, really, you got to go, okay. They're following. They hitched their wagon to the wrong star. You know what I mean? They're just stuck on stupid. Okay, this ugly picture of the Satanist here. This guy's a defense attorney. Doesn't he look creepy? But
he's impressive.
But he's part of the Church of Satan.
Of course he is. Look at him.
Okay, 4 members of the Phoenix City Council moved late Friday to block a Satanist group from delivering the traditional prayer before a council meeting next month. This is putting them in hot water. Because they're going to violate these people's First Amendment's right, and then they're going to get sued.
Yep, you can see it.
Members of the Satanic Temple of Tucson are scheduled to deliver the invocation on the 17th of this month. Group leaders say they are a religion, but they do not worship the devil. Like I said. Okay. City manager Ed Zrokar said in a statement Friday night that at the city council members' request, he would add an agenda item for next Wednesday's meeting that would change the way the city schedules groups that lead the prayer. Mm-hmm. See, so now they're scrambling to change it. It's going to look really bad. Mm-hmm. The current system allows groups to call the clerk's office. So you call the clerk's office and you schedule a date. You go, I would like to lead prayer at the city council. And they go, okay, blah, blah, blah. The new system would mimic what the state legislator does. And that is the mayor and 8 council members would select a prayer leader on a rotating basis. Uh-huh. And so what you do is it would never rotate to the people you don't like.
Right.
Right? That's going to get them in trouble. The 4 council members want the new rule adopted with an emergency clause, allowing it to take effect within 24 hours. You know what I mean?
That just shows you they're really desperate.
Oh, yes. So the Satanist would then be disinvited, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Now, here's what their attorney says. The Satanist Church, Satanist Temple of Satan says, if they want to commit a constitutional violation, we will respond in turn. That's exactly what they want. So the guy who's a member of the Church of Satan is also a Tucson criminal defense lawyer, and he's the leader of the Satanic Temple chapter there. And here's what he says. This is kind of creepy. We have people everywhere in each council district, and we'll adjust.
That is creepy.
Yeah. So
it's like a chess game, you know? They do this because they're expecting this kind of response so that they can do this.
So they can do this. Exactly. Because I think they would be surprised if the council said, oh, come on down, lead the prayer. They knew they were going to, get some kind of fight. So now they get their publicity. I'm reading it. Everybody's seeing it. It's part of the deal. Right? Let's take a commercial break. And we're going to come back. Commercial break. And we're going to come back and we're going to talk about Homo Optimus. And I don't mean homosexual Optimus.
No.
I mean Homo Optimus. It's a new species that man is creating. I know. Muttonhead. Everybody say it.
Muttonhead.
Dopey Muttonheads. Okay, we'll be right back.
Welcome to the Remnant Resistant. Welcome to the Remnant Resistant. Resisting and fighting the enemies of God.
You're listening to the Kapow Radio Show Network.
What?
And Kapow stands for Kingdom Against Powers of Wickedness. Your hosts Paul and Linda broadcast every Monday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Time. But you can hear all the shows on archive anytime or as an iTunes download. Our topics include the paranormal, the supernatural, and spiritual warfare. The Kapow Radio Show is sponsored by Fifth Hook Media, a digital publisher of ebooks, music, and teaching materials. Visit fifthookmedia.com to see our ebooks about spiritual warfare. That's FIFTHOOK media.com. Keep up the good fight. We are glad you joined the resistance.
Homo Optimus, not octopus. That's a different genetically spliced species that man is creating.
It's an acronym, HO.
Homo. Can you imagine a Homo Octopus?
You said octopus.
I know. I said it on purpose that an octopus, but an octopus. Now people always complaining.
Yeah.
I need another hand.
They
I only got
it.
3 hands. I remember my mom used to say that when I was a kid. I guess I was whining, acting like a muttonhead, asking for stuff. You know, I was probably asking my mom like, "Hey, can you feed me? I haven't ate in 3 days." You know, something. I was probably asking something like that. But I remember her saying, "I only have 3 hands," something like that. And when I was little, I never understood it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's kind of like it's kind of like talking to a dog. Mm-hmm. You know. Why'd you do that? Why'd you chew my shoe for? You know these are very expensive. You're bad. You really hurt mommy's feelings. You know, the dog's just looking at you like,
what are you talking about? Yeah.
I got to pee. Yeah, you know? So the dog just looks at you like crazy. And I never understood that. The other phrase I never understood is a little bluebird told me.
Oh.
You know, how'd you know I did? A little bluebird told me. I never understood that. I didn't get that.
Yeah.
So, you know, like talking to a dog. Now, now that I'm older, I was like, oh, my mom was trying to say she was busy, and I was annoying her because I was asking for food and sustenance.
Oh, Jerry.
Or for her to get my plastic soldiers down so I can set them all up and then destroy them. Because that's what I used to do when I was a kid. Spend hours setting up toy soldiers, and then with one fell swoop, that's what they say I did. One fell swoop, I just take my hand and the battle was over. I guess I was playing God way back then. I was like, here's mankind, and here you guys, you shooting each other. Oh, look at this one, he's a Homo erectus, and blah 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 blah. And then I went, it's over, blam. Day of the Lord, more soldiers, please. Yeah. It was
funny.
prophetic. It was prophetic, I'm telling you.
I'm telling you.
That was a
I tell you what.
Kid. I'll tell you what right now, Mr. Powell. I got a question for you. Is technology causing us to evolve into a new species?
Could be.
Well, this expert, he's an expert, okay, because he's out of town and he has a PowerPoint, so that makes him an expert. He believes superhumans called Homo Optimus will talk to machines and be digitally immortal by 2050.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, you know where this is all going, folks. This is the same old transhumanism nonsense that surely you will not die.
Oh, yeah, you can see that.
Don't. God said you would die. Surely you won't die. And so the idiot, the father of all dopey Muttonheads, the liar, could never make good on it because humans have died ever since, and they'll continue to die. Wow, did you hear that?
I know. We had an alien at the front door.
Man, that's what we get for bringing our dogs to work. Dogs bark. And then when I tell them, no, don't, do, why do you do that? Daddy's trying to record a show and everybody hears you barking, you yappy little dogs. Why'd you do that? They look at me and go, huh?
Como?
All they hear is, and then they go, snack? Chicken? Oh yeah, they're in total rebellion. My dogs, total rebellious. I'm trying to get a pet in a computer. I can make a little talking Furby, and then they won't bark like that because I'll just turn them off.
That's right.
But
put them in your drawer.
Yes, that'd be perfect. But that's not until 2050.
You probably want a wife like that.
No, I would never. I would never wish that. I love a living, breathing, talking, yapping, just nagging me, just on me. No, just teasing. I'm just teasing Mr. Pan. Okay, where was I? This guy, he's a futurologist, all right? Dr. Ian Pearson. He's predicted how humans will evolve by 2050.
And you know what the good news about that is? You and I for sure will be dead because we'll be in our 90s or something, and I don't see us living that long.
Unless they put us in a computer.
No.
I might be living in an ATM machine.
No, because we're being cremated, remember?
That's right. And then we'll just, I don't know, we'll scatter ourselves over Washington. I don't know. He claims transhumanism will be normal and create Homo Optimus. It's going to be a new species. Mm-hmm. It would be a mix of human and computer with superior senses.
Wow.
A lot better than what God made, right?
No.
Well, no, that's what he's saying.
I know, but I'm just saying no.
Okay. He could also turn our pets into talking real-life Furbies. Now that I can go for. Hopefully he can do it this year.
Can you imagine our dogs talking? Oh, no.
As long as I can shut them off or pull the battery or something. That would be annoying if they could talk.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what are you yelling at me for? I'm just protecting the door. That's what you got me for. That's what I do. I'm a rat terrier.
No, but they'd ask you for snacks all the time.
I know.
And going outside, taking for walks. Can I go with you? Can I go with you? Oh, yeah.
I know. It sounds like me when I was a little kid to my mom. I only got 3 hands. I was like, huh? Give me soldiers. If you're under the age of 40, Ms. Kapow, which you are, there's a good chance you will achieve electronic immortality during your lifetime. Isn't that great news?
Wonderful.
Now, this is the idea that all of your thoughts, your experiences will be uploaded and stored online for future generations. Oh, boy. Can you imagine that? You talk about a bunch of dopey Muttonheads, and then, now it's going to be stored forever. Yep. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, Lord.
Stupid.
This futurologist guy, Ian, he not only believes technology will let humans merge with computers, that this will create an entirely new species called Homo Optimus.
Oh.
I know it. Ho. Or ho-op. And he delivered his predictions as part of the Big Bang Fair 2016, or is going to. He believes in the next 35 years, humans will live online. And our pets could even talk to us, like real-life Furbies. He claims transhumanism, the idea we can take or make people technologically better, it will be the norm in 2050.
Wow.
Here's what he says. With optimized genomes and bodies enhanced by links to external technology, people could be more beautiful. There we go. More intelligent. More emotionally sophisticated.
He's living in a dream world.
This guy's a total dopey Muttonhead. How could you be more emotionally sophisticated if your brain's in a machine? Mm-hmm. What does he live on the flat earth? Is he a flat earther? Good Lord! Oh, more physically able. Yeah, just like, take your Mac computer and throw it on the wall and see what happens to it. See how physically resounding it is. More socially connected.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Generally healthier and happier all around. He knows this. You're going to be happy. You're going to be happy being part machine. Mm-hmm. Homo Optimus are happy, whatever they are.
Exactly.
As humans embrace technological advances and gradually become androids, we could gradually see Homo sapiens being replaced by Homo Optimus. Oh. Didn't this guy watch the movies? Didn't he watch Skynet?
I know.
It created the Terminator 800. Mm-hmm. I'll be back,
yeah.
Ian.
Well, look how much damage that again did.
It did. Wow. He says we can expect our evolutionary process to change in response to technology. What's exciting is that it is no longer nature which is forcing changes on us, but our own breakthroughs enabling changes we want.
Wow.
Dr.
Tower
Ian.
of Babel. Tower of Babel.
It is, and it just goes back to that Gnosticism and take the wisdom. You surely won't die. It's the same old
pride, arrogance.
Yeah, from the father of all Muttonheads. Here's a little chart here they have, and they have a little picture of a man's face and a hand and some legs.
Ooh, but it's electronic gold skin and tiny implants between skin cells that will enable the direct link with electronic devices. Doesn't that sound spectacular?
I would love some electronic gold skin. Moisturize with oil of Olay. I wonder what happens when it rains.
I probably haven't thought of that yet.
No, because if you're a machine, you're probably not interested in walking in the rain. What else will it have?
Let's see, a wireless brain-to-device interaction,
Oh.
a close-up of microscopic implants, and perfect replaceable teeth.
You got to have that.
There you have it. You don't have to do whiteners anymore.
No, you don't have to go to the dentist. You're just like, replace the cuspus. Replace the cuspus. Well, what about your eardrums and your eyes and your smelling, all the other stuff? Why just the teeth? Isn't this stupid?
It is dumb.
I mean, how dumb can you...
It also has electronic muscle support tights.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. And a multifunctional health monitor with automatic insulin dispersion for diabetes.
Well, look at why... Okay. If you're more healthier, a better machine, you're better than a regular
then you
human.
shouldn't have diabetes.
Why do you have... Yeah, why are you a diabetic?
Because
why do you need to monitor that?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's dumb. That's
Exactly.
dumb.
It doesn't make sense.
No, I do like the electronic muscle support tights because you don't have
Keeps
to go to the gym
everything in
anymore.
place.
Yeah.
You know,
and then if you wanted, like, I need bigger pecs, you just like code it in the computer. Boom, big pecs.
Exactly.
There you go.
But no one can really feel it because you're...
Everybody's a machine.
There you go.
And then pecs won't really matter because what's going to matter is the type, if you're a good-looking machine, Are you a MacBook Pro or are you just a regular MacBook? That's the question.
That's the question.
Who knows? Okay, so he says this could be, it could give rise to some weird and wonderful future forms and creations. From changing video displays on our faces. So one moment you're a lion, the next moment you're a female. To controlling our own dreams, our evolving imaginations are the only limit.
Oh, for the love of pizza.
So this guy's a nut. He's speaking at the, whatever it is, the Big Bang Fair in 2016. Dr. Ian Peterson.
Remind me we're not going to that.
No, we're going to miss that particular event.
Alrighty.
Okay. British scientists granted permission to genetically modify human embryos. This is a step in the direction they want to go, right? The Francis Crick Institute will genetically edit the leftover embryos from IVF clinics. And here's why. What they're saying is that the embryos that are planted in some females are being rejected. So what they want to do is take those rejected embryos and then experiment on the DNA on them to see why they were being rejected, because they think possibly they were being rejected because of a genetic defect. They're
thinking.
Yes, this is what they're telling you. What they're going to do. This is a step towards the designer babies and the genetically modified human. And the British scientists have now, before they haven't been granted permission, but now they have been granted permission to genetically modify these embryos. There's a fertility regulator there in Britain, and that's the one who has said the Francis Crick Institute could begin the controversial experiments as early as March. That's next month. So they got the green light from the HFEA, which is the Human Fertilization and Embryology Authority. Wow. So the scientists want to deactivate genes in leftover embryos from IVF clinics to see if it hinders development. They don't know if it is. They just want to
experiment.
So now they got the green light to do that.
This is Frankenstein all over again.
It is. And we've talked about this over the years. But here it is. It's now reality. They now can do it.
And it's only reality because they're letting us know about it. But they've been doing this before.
Yeah. there's genetically modified people walking all around the place. That's why they're dopey Muttonheads. Doesn't work. So, and a related story right here in the States, so that we don't snub our nose at Britain and go, how could they? Because you know it's coming here. But here in the States, our FDA, our Federal Drug Administration, has asked a group of scientists on the ethical question, if it's right or wrong, ethically, to make babies with the genes from 3 different people.
And I'm sure the answer was yes.
The answer was yes by the scientists, and the FDA here in the United States then applauded that decision. So you know what's coming is the green light for the genetic manipulation. It's what the Chinese have been doing with the CRISPR all this time. So it's here.
That's right.
And it's moving really fast. So that's why this weird doctor, Ian Peterson, can talk about having your head in a machine and this genetic, Homo Optimus. They can talk all this stuff because it's right around the corner.
Yeah.
I mean, not that you care, but it's just, we're just pointing it out. We're in the sewer hole.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, there's so many things, bad things that are going to happen from this.
Oh yeah, it's going to be amazing. Would it be ethical for scientists to try to create babies that have genetic material from 3 different people? An influential panel of experts has concluded the answer could be yes. It's a 12-member panel assembled by the National Academies of Sciences, Engineers, and Medicine. I know this is going to shock people, but I'm not part of that academy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
People are like, what? With all your knowledge, you were never part of scientists and engineering and medicine? You're so smart.
Why stop at 3, right?
I know. I don't know. Well, they released a 164-page report Wednesday outlining a plan for how scientists could ethically pursue the controversial research.
Oh, for the love of pizza.
The committee concludes that it is ethically permissible to conduct such experiments, the report says, but then goes on to detail a long list of conditions that would have to be met first. Example, scientists would have to perform extensive preliminary research in the laboratory with animals to try to make it sure that it's safe. And then researchers should initially try to make only male babies. Isn't that misogynic? Only make male babies because females talk too much. What? I can't believe they said that.
No,
they said because women be a pain in my craw. It says they're only allowed to make male babies because they would be incapable of passing their unusual amalgamation of DNA on to future generations. Unless you're a gay, genetically modified gay baby. Minimizing risk to future children should be of highest priority. So they're going to create this Frankenhuman, and then it's going to reproduce. It's going to be like a zombie planet, man. It's going to be incredible.
With all males.
Yeah, wait, female zombies don't eat brains. Everybody knows that. They're vampires, but they're not zombies.
Unless it's chocolate.
Yeah, they got a chocolate brain. Guess who requested this report?
Who?
The Food and Drug Administration.
Of course.
And that was in response to applications by 2 groups of scientists in New York and
Oregon
to conduct the experiments. Their goal is to help women. They want to help women have healthy babies even though they come from families plagued by genetic disorders. We just want to help people.
Oh, for the love.
We want to help you. So they got the request, the FDA. So then they asked the scientists, hey, would it be ethical? And the scientists say, yeah. It's wide open, folks.
Yeah. And it's to help people.
It's to help people.
Doing their business to help people.
That they just want to help people who can't have, babies because they have genetic issues. A statement issued by the FDA immediately after the reports released raised questions about whether the FDA would permit the research to move forward. The FDA email praised the thoughtful work of the panel and said the agency would be reviewing the recommendations. But it noted that the latest federal budget prevents the FDA from using funds to review applications in which a human embryo is intentionally created or modified to include changes that could be passed down to future generations. As a result, the email says, any such research cannot be performed in the United States at this time. The researchers pursuing these experiments welcomed the panel's conclusions. So it's a step in the right direction for these people. And you watch it grow now. You watch it now take off.
Sure.
Okay? You heard it first here on Free Friday News. Okay. This is also a related story about all the genetic modifications and creating dopey Muttonheads. This poor kid got kicked out of school because of his DNA.
Disgusting.
I didn't know that was even possible. I didn't know.
Not in our day.
This is from Wired. A few weeks into 6th grade.
Oh, he's only 6th grader.
Mm-hmm, his name is Coleman Chatham. He had to leave school because of his DNA. The situation, odd as it may sound, played out like this. Coleman has a genetic markers. He has genetic markers for cystic fibrosis. Is that how you say it? Fibrosis.
Mm-hmm.
And kids with the inherited lung disease can't be near each other because they're vulnerable to contagious infections. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So, let me get this straight. He had genetic markers for cystic fibrosis.
Mm-hmm.
Now, kids with an inherited lung disease can't be near each other because they're vulnerable to contagious infections.
Right.
So is it him that's going to get hurt or other kids that would get hurt?
I believe him.
Okay. So he would get hurt.
Yeah, because those other kids are sick.
Okay.
That would make him sick.
Okay. Well, 2 siblings of his with cystic fibrosis also attended Coleman's middle school in Palo Alto, California. Oh, what a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
In 2012. So Coleman was out, even though he didn't actually have the disease. He never had it. He wasn't sick. He doesn't have the disease. According to the lawsuit that his parents filed against the school district, the allegation is genetic discrimination.
Gosh, that doesn't even make sense.
It really doesn't, and I'm trying to understand this article the most I can, but it doesn't even, it's so dopey Muttonhead-like.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make sense. So, genetic discrimination, the parents are suing the school district for that. It sounds hilarious. So get used to those words because they're likely to become a lot more common.
Now, see, that's scary.
Mm-hmm. Especially after the 2 articles we just talked about.
Right.
The FDA having the scientists weigh in on the ethical, mandates. And then Britain given the green light to actually modify embryos.
Mm-hmm.
So, genetic discrimination. Wow. With DNA tests now cheap and readily available, the number of people getting tests has gone way up. So, the potential for discrimination based on the results is a very possibility.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So, what they're saying is that the school district violated the Americans with Disabilities Act. Also, the kids' First Amendment right to privacy. See what I mean? The kind of trouble we're getting ourselves into?
Yeah.
Wow.
Chaos.
Yes. We are just really, wow.
Everything now has to be rewritten and redone. And
well, the President of the United States wants to get rid of the Constitution.
Well, they haven't.
You won't have these problems. Just let me dictate. Let me dictate what is right for you. Well, I'm a lame. How many more days do we got to go? Are we still in the 300s? 300
I don't
and some
know.
odd days before we get rid of this clown? When Coleman was born in 2000, DNA analysis of newborns was still rare. But he had a congenital heart problem that led to extra tests. Okay, fair enough. That in turn led doctors to discover that he carried some genetic markers associated with cystic fibrosis. You get it? Mm-hmm. They did some more DNA, some DNA testing, and he had some markers.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't guarantee he's going to get the disease.
No. His markers are no guarantee of a disease. And Coleman never developed any cystic fibrosis. Still, his parents disclosed the information when filling out a medical form to enroll Coleman in school. Now, whose fault is that? Why in the heck are you filling out? Why did you tell them your world? Why don't you just put it on Facebook? Mm-hmm. That information made its way to teachers, who allegedly told the parents of the 2 other students with cystic fibrosis during a parent-teacher conference. Those parents allegedly demanded the Chathams remove their son from school. Eventually, the school district allowed Coleman to return after missing a couple of weeks. This article is so poorly written, it's really hard to get through it and understand it because journalism is a lost art to a great degree. The Chathams have since moved away from Palo Alto, but anyway, they're continuing with their lawsuit. Mm-hmm. All right? So, isn't that weird?
Very.
A kid was actually removed from school because of his DNA. Okay, one last story, and this is...
I would take it that they'll probably lose then.
Or the school district or the kid?
The kid.
Yeah,
do you think?
Could be. It depends on the...
Oh, I like this one.
Ninth Circuit Court. I know. Buying a ghost on eBay.
Ooh, scary.
Man, people, if you get a chance, go to our Facebook page, Fifth Hook Media, FIFTHOOK Media, because this story is posted on there. It's from Blumhouse.com. I believe Heather sent this to us. It's buying a ghost on eBay. But the reason why you want to look at this article because they have links to the eBay objects.
Mm-hmm. And those are early.
Yeah. I looked at a couple of the dolls.
Oh, yeah. No.
It was creepy just looking at them, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nasty.
Yes. So this is what Dopey Muttonheads are doing. They're actually buying demons when they can clearly get a demon for free. Mm-hmm. In fact, if you're buying a demon or an object that's haunted with a demon, you already have demons.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't have demons, you wouldn't be doing such stupid
because
behavior.
you're attracted to those things.
Yeah. You're already a dopey.
It's attracted to those things.
Exactly. Okay, for many of us, the popular online auction site eBay is like a drug. You know how it is, man. You know, you get stuff. On eBay. It says, apparently, over the years, what this guy discovered is that he could buy his very own ghost on eBay for practically nothing.
I guess they're in high demand now.
Yes. He says do a quick search for yourself and you'll find that your own restless spirit is just a click away. Now, according to eBay regulations, you cannot sell something as haunted. That's interesting. You can't say this is haunted. But, however, eBay will allow you to sell the vessel, and the ghost or the demon that's in that vessel has to be thrown in for free. Mm-hmm. So it's how you word it. You can't say it's haunted. You just have to say this is a microphone that exhibits,
its
ghostly properties. Exactly. I'm going to sell a Homo Optimus and a platypus at the same time.
There you have it.
For a good deal, right? You watch the auction. Yeah. It's going to be crazy.
You'll be in the dough, Jerry. You'll be in the dough.
I will. Okay, so now you can throw you can sell a vessel, and then the spirit that's in it has to be free. So here's a listing of some of the haunted objects you can find on sale right now. Dolls, man.
Oh yeah, and there's some ugly ones.
There is. The haunted doll seems to be the most abundant item on eBay. Maybe it's because most of them already look so creepy. Uh-huh. From creepy clowns to porcelain babies, there are plenty to choose from. I know I saw one that was a clown, and it said, I think the advertisement said that it was very active.
Very active, yeah.
Oh.
What does that mean?
It also doesn't appear as if there is an age limit to when a doll can be cursed. I found several antiques, but also quite few newer model Barbie dolls. And then here's one called Isaac. And Isaac is a cracked and aged little doll which just so happens to hold the soul of a 16-year-old who committed suicide. The seller claims that Isaac has been heard weeping on occasion. He has also been known to move a few objects around.
And that picture of the doll is just creepy. Very, very creepy. No.
These people are selling that.
No want.
The other items are jewelry.
Yeah.
Haunted jewelry is a ghost you can take with you everywhere. This writer found a lot of what were called jinn rings. You know what the jinn is? The jinn is
like a genie.
Yeah, it's a demon that Islamic religion uses jinn for demon. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right, Ms. Cabal. That's where you get the word genie from. Jinn. It's a demon. So these are called demon rings or jinn rings. It says they're not so much haunted as they are bestowed with powers that benefit the wearer. Check this out. Most were one time owned by witches who infused them with magic, which could be presented in the form of positive energy or even wish granting. But if you want something straight up haunted, he gives a link to check this out.
See, they make it sound like it's a positive, good thing.
Oh, man.
And it's not.
No. What this writer is, this is from Blumhouse. He's not a Christian. He's just writing, fun and games.
Yeah, but still, the fact that they just think that it's, benign is incredible.
Yeah. Could you imagine some Muttonhead buying that ring and putting it on their finger?
Yeah. It's like saying, buy the Ouija board because it's a fun game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're right, Ms. Capel. Paintings. A haunted painting can still be acquired for a nice little bargain on the auction block. And then he says, he posts one painting and he goes, check this one out. He says, sleep well. And it's a creepy painting of, I don't know what makes it so creepy. It just is. I don't know if it's that little kid or what in a dress. I don't know what it is, but.
Well, it's the ghost that's attached to it.
Yeah. Ugh. Okay, statue. Along the same lines as a painting, a haunted statue is a great conversation piece for your home. Just as with paintings, there were not many options up for sale, but those that were definitely had some great backstories. Now, this writer says, as a rule, I don't mess with anything ancient Egyptian. I've just seen way too many movies. But I could make an exception when it comes to these two gentlemen, and then he has a link to this statue. Now, this one I really found very fascinating. A Daibuk box. Daibuk box or Daibuk box. It's the old standby when it comes to haunted objects. These items gained popularity around 2009 when one was first sold on eBay. The sale became the inspiration for the 2012 film The Possession.
Yeah. Oof.
For those unfamiliar, a Daibuk box is a sealed box said to contain a malicious and restless spirit.
And can you imagine if the box opens and that thing comes out?
Why else would you buy it unless you were going to open it?
Oof,
and then they have a picture of one there.
I don't like it.
He says the seller's explanation is short and sweet, and he seems to want to get rid of it quickly.
Yeah.
And then there's a haunted lava lamp.
I think that's interesting.
Yeah. And I don't know why the lava lamp would be haunted or, but it's an object.
Well, anything with portals, you can put them in there.
Yeah. So just like these witches' rings or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What it says is it's a haunted vintage lava lamp, paranormal ghost, eerie specter image, weird church find.
What?
I know. And I don't know what else it says about it. Okay, it says, you may think this is your standard vintage lava lamp, but I'm not so sure. I think there's a ghost in this machine, and here's why. I found this offered for sale at a huge church rummage sale.
Oh, when they had demons expelled? That's where it went?
That's where it went in the deliverance ministry. But it was not offered, as one might expect. I first saw the base of the lamp jammed in a box of assorted junk outside of the church, in the parking lot. Rummaging in the basement of the church, I later found the lamp section. So I went back, found the base, and bought both parts separately. It seemed odd to me that both parts should be kept apart. I went home, put them together, and turned on the light. In a moment, the lamp flashed like a paparazzi camera and made an odd sound. It was unexpected and spooky. I carefully unplugged it and took off the lava glass, thinking I would just need to change the bulb, but what I found was this bizarre ghost image burned inside the bulb in spooky blue, gray, black, and smoky white colors. I've had my share of burnt bulbs, but never saw this happen before. What occurred at the estate that donated this to the church? How did the base wind up outside the church, separate from the lava part? Unknown and mysterious. This is a large lamp, and he goes on to describe it. He says, could it have been scratched by claws or teeth of some malevolent entity? I can't say there is a residual spirit, or if it continues to be haunted. Perhaps the ghostly image indelibly etched into this bulb is all that remains. At any rate, pictures are part of the description. I think this guy's just trying to sell some junk.
That's what I'm getting.
That isn't even a good story.
Yeah, and yeah.
That's not even a good story. Look, here's the bulb picture of the bulb here. Really?
Yeah, seeing he has other pictures of it down there.
Yeah. I think this dude bought something for like...
And he can't sell it, so he put a little story behind it.
Yeah, and he thinks if I could make it haunted, I could sell it to these dopey Muttonheads that buy haunted things on eBay.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, but I didn't get anything out of that.
No. That's a very anticlimactic way to end the show, and I'm sorry.
No, the other stories were good.
The other stuff was good, but that last one sucked. It was a dopey Muttonhead story. All right, should we go bye-bye?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go bye-bye.
You say it, man.
All right, ciao, babies.
The earth is breaking, crumbling. The earth is tottering, swaying, like a drunk man, falling, crashing to the ground like a dead man, lying on the ground. Earth is breaking. The earth is breaking.
crumbling, crumbling. The earth is tottering, tottering, swaying, like a drunk man, falling, crashing to the ground like a dead man, lying, running on the ground.